Okay, couple of you on here. Busy week ahead of us. Busy week for this fight feed. As usual, we'll run down what we saw this weekend. We'll talk about what's coming up, news, thoughts, whatever else comes off the dome. This usually runs about a half hour, an hour. I ask you all, try and bear with me. If you can't sit down and watch it all in one shot, then fucking come back to it. But watch it more than once. I'd appreciate it. Alright, hold up here. Let's just get the elephant out of the room. My man Shaquille Finn in Poland. Tough loss, man. Tough loss. Here's the thing, man. You know, he's not going to make any excuses. I hate fighters that have to go on the road. You never know if you're going to get the right decision. That being said, it was a tough fight. I was scoring it a draw. And knowing that they weren't going to do a draw, I was scared he was going to lose it. And sure enough, he did. Had a few problems with it. It was only 8 rounds. Could have used a couple of extra rounds. Shaq's, 8 rounds was a while ago. No commission to check hand wraps, but, that's not common knowledge, but it is what it is. In the 7th round, they just lost 17 seconds off the clock, and nobody did nothing. The commission, it's not the same thing, and when you go abroad like that, listen, you take those risks. So, not taking anything away from his opponent. He popped a jab well. He snuck in a couple left hooks to the body. Power shots, Shaq was doing the overall damage. And if you follow the guy on Instagram, you can go look at his face. And, Shaq's fine today. But, dude's face is not great. What's next for him? Here's the thing. I don't know. Comeback fight would be interesting. Hopefully he can start 2020 on the right foot. Still need a promoter. I don't give a fuck. This loss don't count for shit. I know his opponent was only 8-0, but he also fought in the World Boxing Super Series, so, they don't count that on your pro record, but he's got experience. Tough dude. People were talking to me about Shaq going up in weight. If anything, Shaq could maybe, I don't know. Going up, going down, it's too soon to say that. Because the thing is, Shaq's lost before, and it's kind of the same situation where you feel he didn't do enough to win, but he didn't lose. He didn't get beat. The other guy wasn't owning him. There wasn't a moment where it was like, oh, wow, this guy's destroying Shaq. There's none of that. It was a competitive fight. So, bad day for Shaq? Yeah. And can Shaq lose? Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't believe, if you know any pro fighters, then you should have this mentality. But the end result of your career, right, is not some point or destination. And not everybody's going to get a straight line, okay? Floyd Mayweather is a fucking rare scenario. Not everybody's going to go 50-0. You're going to go on the road. You're going to get tough fights. You're going to get fucking issues with your promoter. You're going to be on your own. The kid could have fought on the Poirier Taylor undercard, but the guy backed out of the fight. This was 2 months ago. Shaq's been waiting. And did that wait affect him? Possibly. Now, without mentioning any gloves, mentioning any names, there was a journalist. Now, I hate it when guys do this, right? Because they're like, respect for, to Shaquille, but he lost a unanimous decision. And then they throw in what seems like a question, but in reality, it's just a comment in order to try and stoke a fire somewhere. Now, this journalist put up a post saying, respect to Shaq, he lost a unanimous decision. Did his promoter know something that we didn't? Now, he had his promoter, his ex-promoter, on the show before, and he made it sound like, oh, he didn't have faith in Shaq becoming a world champion. That's why he let him go. Now, he made this comment despite the fact that he supposedly knows the truth, like I do, because, well, I fucking told him, so he should fucking know. We were at the end of the contract. Shaq could have renewed. More than likely, there was going to be no guarantees of fights right away. They needed time. And there was no talk of raising his salary, despite the fact that he won 2 fucking titles. And the overall situation did not seem fucking stable over there. And I think latest fucking fights have proven so. We'll get back to them when we talk about the news in a bit. But the point is, it'd be one thing if he would say something stupid and he didn't know. But the guy knows the fucking truth. Okay? And it doesn't take me to tell you the truth, because you're going to those shows and you're seeing that there's no one in the crowd, and you're seeing that the promotion's not going good. You're hearing that Jestev is having issues. You're hearing that they're putting pressure on them. You're hearing that they don't have fights booked. You're hearing that they're having problems. Same as fucking me. So why the fuck, unless you were just trying to stir some shit. Also, very possible, you're looking to lick that dude's ass. Because, oddly enough, that same person's not allowed to any of the Eye of Tiger shows. Kind of like me, but in reverse. Now, here's the thing. He's got a right to his opinion. He's got a right to conduct himself the way he wants to conduct himself. But I won't fuck with him. Done. Never gonna fuck with him again. Nothing personal. I just ain't got the fucking time. I ain't got the time to school people. I ain't got the time to fucking educate people. Listen, man. If you're gonna try and make your money off of fighters, right? Doing this shit? Not a good idea. I pretty much can guarantee you, if anybody asks me if they should help you out with a story or go on one of your shows, my answer is going to be fucking no. And that's because you seem to have your own self-interests ahead of the sports. So that's enough fucking talk about you. Shaq's a real fucking man. Gonna take this lump like he's supposed to. He's gonna learn from this fucking experience. Like I said, doesn't mean he can't be a fucking world champion, right? They're all gonna be on his dick on the next fucking knockout. Trust me, because that's the way this fucking game goes, right? My respect doesn't turn on and off. Ooh, got a little spittle. My respect doesn't turn on and off. You know, the things I respected about Shaq before the fight are the same things I respect about him after the fight. So, regardless of the outcome, he is who he is. And, yeah, like I said, nobody has a straight line, you know. There's going to be bumps and curves along the way. I truly believe even the bad shit is all fucking part of the fucking tapestry of your fucking scenario. And the universe, there's no way to know what the fucking universe plans for you, man. So you take your lumps when they come, and you keep it rolling. So Shaq's got no issues. I am very confident. He's well adjusted. He's fucking intelligent. He's got a thriving business. You know, great family, great friends. I ain't worried. Now, that being said, the one fucking shitty thing about this for me, though, is they did such a beautiful entrance for him. It was like his first really big, and to think he was signed to a promoter, but that was his first really big entrance with like video package and the whole fucking spiel. Fucking bittersweet, man. Went all the way to fucking Poland. Okay, so the rest of the weekend, real quick, we had some ups and downs. We had some solid fights. Cecilia Brækhus, still a freaking badass, fought for basically every belt possible. It was a good fight. If you like women's boxing, if you know women's boxing, if you know boxing at all, then Cecilia Brækhus should be on your fucking list of things. Besputin Butayev. That was a fucking tough fight. 13-0 versus 12-0. To 100% honest with you, I didn't know which way they were going to go with it, but Besputin pulled it off. Also, heavyweight from China, Zihil Zhang. Now 21-0 with a unanimous decision win. He is the WBO Oriental champion. I would love to see this guy over here. Okay, what else? Fuck, Zolani Tete. If you don't know the name, you should Google it. The guy took a loss, but fucking beautiful fucking fighter. Bantamweights, real boxing here. His opponent, John Riel Casimero, was 28-4. Remember that straight line conversation we were just fucking having? He just fucking whooped Zolani Tete. Zolani Tete is highly touted. Everybody's on his dick. This was for the WBO World Bantamweight title. And John Riel Casimero won his first title over Zolani Tete. Kudos to him. Hell of a fucking fight. It was a solid card overall from Birmingham. And who the fuck? Frank Warren. Love Frank Warren. There was a kid on this. Where is he? Fuck. I forget his name. Little Irish kid. So a little Irish kid on this card. Fucking beautiful fight from that kid. Okay, anyways, let's skip ahead because we got fucking plenty. Carlos Adames, Patrick Teixeira. Listen, man. Hell of a fight, but Adames took a loss. Nobody thought that was gonna happen, but Teixeira is a fucking bad dude nonetheless. This was a hell of a fight. Valdez took last-minute opponent Adam Lopez. Lopez went up in weight to last minute to take this fight. They kept the card alive. His previous opponent showed up 11 pounds overweight. Kudos to Oscar Valdez, who saw the canvas, got back up, and won it anyway. Still champ, 26-0. Also, featherweight Carl Frampton. Ooh. Now, if you get a chance, rewatch that fight, please. Carl Frampton did such a beautiful job. And also, bear in mind, the man broke his right thumb and fractured his left hand. So he was basically fighting with no hands the last 2 rounds. Just fucking crazy beautiful boxing from Carl Frampton. The Jackal's the real deal. I love the dude. And he's trying for a 3rd weight category. He's going up against the Fighting Marine. I mean, there's a size difference, but I'll root for him anyway. They're both good dudes. Arnold Barboza won an NABF Junior Super Lightweight title. He's a bad dude. I got my eye on him. He's a super lightweight. We're going to get into super lightweight realness in a second here. Yours truly is going to fucking California. I've never been to California. And to tell you the truth, I have not seen a beach or an ocean. No, I've seen an ocean. But I've not been on a beach since 1998. So I'm a little excited. Got a crazy Airbnb provided to me. Thank you to Ida Tiger and Punch and Grace and the Ulysses Nation team for winning that competition. Also got my flight included in that and my tickets to the show. The Hangar is a wicked fucking venue. Plenty of fighters have come through there. Lomachenko, Triple G, bunch of Mexican dudes. Pretty much everyone that's ever been a Golden Boy staple fighter has gone through there. I'm also gonna get to watch Demetrius Ballard fight Yamaguchi Falcao for the NABF middleweight title. I like Demetrius. Big Meech used to be a super middleweight, now a middleweight. I'm really pumped to see him fight. George Rincon, who's 8-0, got my eye on him. He's gonna be in a super lightweight fight. There's a couple fights on there. You guys can check it out on BoxRec. But more importantly, the man himself, Canada's #1 boxer, in my opinion. Don't at me, I said in my opinion. But Canada's best boxer, Yves Ulysses Jr. versus Ismael Barroso. Barroso's a tough dude. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's 21-3-2. But if you've watched this show before, I've mentioned to you, watch out for dudes with draws, man. They're like black cats, motherfuckers that get draws. Usually give tough fights, even in fights they lose. So, that being said, our boy's from, where is he? Venezuela. He's 36. He's a southpaw. He's long. He's lean. He's got a mean hook. Listen, 21 victories, 20 KOs. My man Ulysses has got to be on his P's and Q's. Okay, he's got to be focused every fucking minute of this fight. 21 wins, 20 KOs. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? He's a bad dude. Now, he has taken 3 losses. Who did he lose to? Let's take a look at that. Lost to Anthony Corolla. Now, if you know Anthony Corolla, the dude's a beast. Might be a little past his prime now, but at the time in 2016, fucking monster. Isa Shaniev, who's 12-1. That was for a title. Lost a unanimous decision. Maybe a little home cooking there, because I don't think that happened stateside. Batir Akhmedov's the other dude. Back in 2018. 4-0 at the time. I think he's like 8-0 now. That was for the WBA Intercontinental Lightweight title. That fight he lost by KO. Now that was a tough one. But he came back from that. Put a win together in Miami over Enrique Escobar. Won by KO. So, like I said, he's already got 2 draws on his record. It's the type of fight Ulysses is going to have to be on his toes on, going to have to pay attention. Scary dude nonetheless. Now, if you want to watch Thursday night, your man Manny's going to be in California. Maybe you'll see me on TV. You can tweet me your pictures and whatnot. I have no idea where the fuck I'm going to be, but I am going to be wearing a full-on camo Eve Ulysses tracksuit, so you won't miss me, especially with my fucking hair. It's going to be live on Fight Network. If you got the Fight Network, it's live and free on TV. If you don't have the Fight Network, don't stress. It's on Facebook, Golden Boy Fight Night, and Thursday Night Fights. And last but not least, if you're a DAZN subscriber, you can get it straight from DAZN. There's no reason to miss this. There's nothing else going on Thursday night. Golden Boy Boxing from the hangar. Eve Ulysses. If you're from Canada, do the right fucking thing and tune the fuck in. Watch my man work. See why the fuck I'm so excited when Eve Ulysses fights. And you'll understand. This is going to be one hell of a fight. Eve Ulysses is going to make a fucking impression. He's already done it, which got him signed to Golden Boy. But that location in particular is going to be boxing heads wall to wall. Dudes who know what the fuck they're watching. No offense to some of the crowds we've had out here. But people that know what the fuck they're watching. And I think for the very first time in Ulysses' career, an entire crowd is going to appreciate what Eve Ulysses does. Pumped. I'm going to post a picture of my Airbnb. I'm like on the fucking beach. I'm fucking pumped. Nervous about the flight and getting there and just having enough fucking money. Paid everything today, man. I'm so fucking broke, dude. I am so fucking broke. Made sure my dad was good for the next 3 days while I'm gone. Now, I land Friday, so I'm going to miss the Bell Center weigh-ins. So hopefully you guys can share that. But I am going to be back Saturday night for the Bell Center, which I'll get to in a second. Alright, so Saturday morning from Australia, Tim Kostuzu's son, now 14-0, looking to make it 15-0. He's fighting a 16-2-2 fighter. He's fighting for the IBF Australian title. I really hope this kid, I wish him nothing but good. Just good fucking people. Solid fucking fighter. He's young. Just a really interesting super welterweight. Big future ahead of him. There's a cruiserweight on here I'm interested in. Trent Broadhurst. If you get a chance, check him out. He's a bad dude. He's got a couple losses, but I don't give a fuck. Cruiserweights hit hard. He's fighting a guy who's 14-0, David Light. Light better not take him lightly. Friday. From Edmonton, Alberta. The real deal. It's a fucking shocker. Fighting in Canada. Bless this guy. 16-5. Fighting Orlando Vasquez. Super middleweight now. He can go up to light heavyweight. Just Ryan Ford's just an athletic son of a gun. And I'm so happy he's going to get to put down. And he's going to be able to hear his kids cheer for him. He deserves this fight. He deserves the homecoming. I hope this fucking show does really well. I hope somebody spots Ryan's performance and helps him out, man, because this dude needs to get some big fights, and we're right there. We're right there. He needs to get on it. So hopefully that can happen for him in 2020. It's a heavyweight fight on there. Stan Sumax, a couple dudes I don't know, but it's gonna be a fun night in Edmonton, Alberta, KO Boxing. Real quick shout out, little non-boxing thing, but nonetheless, Jonathan DeBella is going to be back at Madison Square Garden. The kids made New York his home because they treat kickboxing the way it should be. I really wish pro kickboxing was legalized here in Quebec. I understand. It's just, you know what, the rules are just dumb and we're missing out. Jonathan DeBella is the Sidney Crosby of kicking people in the head. If you get a chance, more than likely there will be a link on Facebook. They also have a link on Combates at the Garden, Combat at the Garden. If you just Google it, should be able to find a link to watch it live on their site. It's going to be from the Hulu Theater, Madison Square Garden. Jonathan DeBella, kid from Montreal, doing crazy things in New York. Frank Sinatra of punching and kicking. All right. Saturday afternoon, back to the afternoon, UFC Fight Pass. Roy Jones Jr. from his second home in Russia is putting on a show. Cruiserweight Askayev, Igorov versus, I'm not even going to try this dude's first name, Radchenko. Bunch of young undefeated dudes, 7-0, 6-0, 7-0. There's a link on UFC Fight Pass. It's in Russia. It's in the middle of the afternoon. I guess you could do that. There's a card going down in Spain in the afternoon. Also, super welterweight Sergio Garcia, 30-0, fighting for the European super welterweight title. Got my eye on him. Also on that card, Kiko Martinez, featherweight. I always like 39-9, but still a solid fight. Definitely something to tune into if you get a chance. Maravilla Boxing. Saturday afternoon from Diriyah, Saudi Arabia. From the Diriyah Arena. They built this bitch in like a month. There's stuff on YouTube and Instagram about it. Alexander Povetkin versus Michael Hunter. Filip Hrgovic versus Eric Molina for the WBC International title. Dylan White, I don't even understand this, versus Marius Wach. Dylan White should not be fighting. Couple of other fights, but I mean, they got a 1-0 guy on this. I don't know if that's going to be seen. It's going to be Matchroom and DAZN. Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz gets to defend his titles. Listen, man, I didn't call the fight. I even didn't think he was going to get the chance to fight him when they were looking for someone. Couldn't be happier for the guy. Could not be happier for the guy. And a lot of people are saying, oh, it was a lucky punch and Joshua is the real champ and blah, 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 blah. Fuck it. I want Andy to do it again. That's my pick this time. I want Andy to do it again. You know why? Because a lot of you don't understand this, right? But for the first time in his life, he's firing on all cylinders, okay? He's sleeping good. Sleeping like a baby for the first time in years. Mom's bills are paid. She's got a brand new house. You got a brand new car. No fucking money issues anymore. You got a whole nother set of problems, I'm sure. But regardless, the point is, Andy Ruiz went from being stressed and working out and trying to figure out how he's going to pay his next thing and how he was going to get to the next fight. And now there's less figuring out. He gets to plan. He gets to plan for the very first time in his fucking career. He gets to really plan. Okay? And trust me, if you look at his body, that is proof that he invested in it. Okay? He didn't go home and just eat Snickers. Okay? He said, okay, now I got the money to play. I'm going to get the best of everything. Now, if he doesn't do it, fine. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. You're in the history books forever, man. Forever. First fucking Mexican heavyweight. They can't fuck with you. Okay? WBC conventions until you're an old man. Fucking Hall of Fame ballot. It is what it is with the heavyweight division. You only got to win the fucking title once. And he won fucking 4 of them. If you count the IBF, which I don't. So 3 titles. I mean, I want Andy to do it again. I want Andy to do it again. I want him to fight Deontay Wilder. I want one name, one face, one champion, just like Deontay Wilder says, except I want it to be a fat, chubby kid with a hell of a fucking punch. No disrespect to Tyson Fury, hoping that fight happens, even if it doesn't happen. But listen, it couldn't be a nicer guy. Anthony Joshua would be a decent champion also. The thing is, if he wins, I'm pretty confident it's back home to England and he's staying there and defending his title the way he wants to. I don't see him fighting Deontay Wilder anytime soon. Real quick, want to shout out ESPN, Top Rank, Fernando Beltran, Zanfer Promotions, Emmanuel Navarrete versus Francisco Horta. Yours truly is going to be filming this one. I'm going to DVR it so I can watch it later. Also, Jerwin Arcajas versus Miguel Gonzalez, super flyweight. Jerwin's just fun as fuck. Gonzalez is a tough fucking customer. This is for the IBF the world super flyweight title. It's a hell of a card. Like I said, good thing it is going to be on ESPN Plus. I'll be able to watch it again later. Also, gonna watch this later, going down from Brooklyn. USA and Showtime's got a card going down. Jamal Charlo, Dennis Hogan, WBC World Middleweight title on the line. I'm gonna watch it afterwards because I'm obviously interested in who the middleweight champ's gonna be. Couple of other solid fights on there. Chris Eubanks Jr. is going to be fighting Mataev Korobov. Korobov's a tough dude. He better watch himself. Bunch of young fighters on there, but I'm going to skip ahead to the fucking main course. Let me light one up for this one. We're going to need some energy. Let's check if there's any questions. Oh shit, I missed a couple questions. IBO, yes, Kenneth, thank you for correcting me. Not the IBF, the IBO. I'm not a fan of the IBO. Yeah, I talked about it at the beginning there, Kenneth. Alright, so, the big one. Boxing is back at the Bell Center as it should be. Home. Boxing is back home. That's how we should be referring to it. Eye the Tiger, pulling the coup, breaking out the entire fucking top part of the deck when it comes to the stable. Growing that fucking stable. They got something like fucking 30 fighters now. You know, like, I'm gonna knock on wood here. But should someone get hurt, no big deal. There's a fucking another 10 kids ready to fucking fight. Love it. That being said, let's run through this card going down Saturday at the Bell Center. Okay, first off, let's talk about how you can watch it. I'm confident there's only a few tickets left. And although I was hopeful they might open up another tier, maybe they won't. Because the truth is, he had a cap. He knew what he wanted to get for as far as how many tickets he wanted to sell. So they're not too stressed about it. That being said, if you only got conventional cable, you can order the pay-per-view on Illico or Bell. But, my suggestion, okay, and this is the fucking obvious choice, okay, punchandgrace.com. It's $11 a month. Last year, 2019, including this show, for 12 months, we got 12 shows. There was a month, I believe we took off, but it doesn't frickin' matter. We got another month. We got 2 shows in that month. Listen to what I'm saying to you. There is no better price for boxing. Documentaries, old fights. They got a fucking fight library there, and they're going to keep adding to it because he's got stuff from the Interbox days on there. So you can go watch old fights. And, you know, let's say you watched a fight and you're tripping on a fight that happened on Saturday. You can tell your friends about it, and then they can watch it. So, I mean, it's better than DVR. It's better than pay-per-view. This is the wave of the future. Just fucking stream it. You can watch it from your phone if you're stuck at work like I used to be. I used to watch this shit from my phone, and thankfully, these guys are doing it. punchandgrace.com. $11 a month. Don't be fucking stupid. The card. This is what you're going to get for $11. Open your fucking ears. Understand what the fuck I'm telling you for $11 what you're getting here. Let's go with the girl who's making her pro debut. Amateur. Had my eye on her a couple years ago. I was like, okay, if she stays the course, she might fucking turn pro and fucking turn some heads. Featherweight. Martine Valliere-Bisson making her debut against a girl who's on 2 losses. I'm not a fan of debuts against somebody who's just had 2 losses. Why? Because that girl really needs a win now. So she's not fighting the same way somebody who was 2-2 would be. Okay? She's 2 behind already from the get-go. If Martin pieces her out, it might be over for this girl's career. So, for a pro debut, it's a tough fight, even though the opponent's 0-2. Super featherweight, Avery Martin Duval. I think in like 5 years from now, he might steal David Lemieux's spot for the girls going crazy. That being said, he's a hell of a boxer, he's a hell of an athlete, and he's a good kid. 3-0, Avery Martin Duval fighting Raul Coronas, who's 2-2. This is the right type of fight for his 4th fight, for him to close out 2020 with 4 fights under his belt. Signing with Eye of the Tiger was the best thing he's done for his career, and I think 2020 is going to be a massive year for super featherweight Avery Duval. Super middleweight, Lexon Mathieu. GQ looking motherfucker on the cover of magazines. Super middleweight, he's super fun. 7-0, looking to make it 8-0. Now, I want you to pay attention here again. I gotta, if you look at things in a negative light, you only see the negative. But you gotta understand what the fuck you're looking at here. He's fighting Rolando Paredes. Rolando 16-8-2. That's right, the fucking draws again. I fucking told you about guys with draws, and there's a few of them on this card. You gotta keep your eyes open for these motherfuckers. It means they've been in tough fights. Young Lexon's gonna be fighting for the NABF Junior Super Middleweight title. Here's the truth. Can he handle it? Yes. Is it a little early, in my opinion? Maybe. But fuck it. I mean, the kid's got a natural fucking background. The parents are athletes. Everything about him is right. I don't see him losing his head or anything. The training is good. The coaching is good. Everything is on point for this guy. So let's look at his opponent real quick. The man's been around. He's been to Belfast. He's been to Mexico. He's been to Quebec City versus... I remember him. He fought fellow super middleweight Nurzat Sabirov and lost a unanimous decision. So he went the fucking distance with Sabirov. And 2017, he fought Bazinian, and he lost a TKO to Bazinian. He's coming off a win against a guy who was 8-0, 27 years old. He's still young, but he's got the grown man strength. This is a good fight. Lexon's only fucking 20. Fucking baby. He's only 20 years old. This is going to be a good fight. I think if Lexon fucking does work on him, people's eyes are going to open. That being said, he just needs to win. Tough fucking customer. Solid fucking fight. One of my favorites, Bad Intentions. Let's get this lit up again. Rafael Corchain, super welterweight. The kid doesn't mind getting his nose in some shit. And that might be the fucking situation here. He is fighting Melvin Wessing. Now, Melvin grew up with a name like Melvin. So, right away, the motherfucker's tough. And he's from the Netherlands. Oh. Melvin's tough. If you grew up with a name like Melvin, you're fucking tough as shit. Okay, so... Fuck, the dude started off with a loss. Came back. Won 4 straight. Then got 3 draws in a row. Fuck. Then won 2. Then lost 2. Then won 1. He might be a weird, clumsy, or unorthodox dude. I don't know. I gotta look into him a bit more. He's got me a little nervous. He's 5'10". Rafi's a little shorter, but nonetheless, Rafi's a fucking dog. He's gonna chew him alive. Let's go with, yeah. All right. Sadruddin Akhmedov. He's fighting Villalobos. Again, a dude with draws, man. 15. He's 12, 5, and 2. We've never seen him over here. He's fucking Argentinian, isn't he? Yeah, he's Argentinian. Okay, so here's my theory on Argentinians. There is no okay Argentinians. They're either tough as shit or done. Okay? And I strongly believe they all start off tough as shit. They just end up being done. So, it's one or the other. Fuck. Dude's nickname's the Tsunami. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, unanimous decision, his last win. Lost to TKO. Listen, Sadruddin's a fucking star. Sadruddin's now 10-0. Looking to make it 11-0. I expect him to step up to the plate and do work like he normally does. Super lightweight, Matsur Germain versus Gilberto Mezza, sorry. So, as you know, Germain's coming off a loss. The guy he's fighting lost to a unanimous decision to Batir. Oh, yeah, I remember this guy. Oh, alright, so he's got a draw also. 25 years old. Fuck, he's young too. My only issue here, I heard some people griping about it, and I don't blame them. I get it. You know, maybe it's a little soon for Metzger. I tell you the truth, I was cool with him taking as long as he wanted, man. He's been working hard and for a long fucking time. That being said, he knows himself. September is a little ways away. Does have a family to take care of. Metzger Germain looking to reset the clock. G-Time once again at the Bell Center. He's going to look forward to that opportunity. It's going to be a good fight from him. Boxing's newest sweetheart. Lightweight. Professional nurse. I guess fucking amateur cowboy, because she does a lot of cowboy and horse related stuff. She's always training and doing training trips. So even her vacation, she's fucking working out. Kim Clavel, 10-0. She's fighting Sagabon. Sagabon is 7-3. This is for the NABF female light flyweight title. As far as real boxing, Kim Clavel has stolen the show on every fucking fight she's been in. I don't think it's going to be any different. Now, that's going to be tough, considering we're going to have a fucking slew of knockouts coming up when I talk about the next coming fights. But I'm talking about if you're looking for skill and precision, if you want to see clean, effective, proper fucking boxing, Kim Clavel's the horse you bet on. Now, little side piece here I want to point out. The Boogeyman is no longer on the BoxRec show, but that doesn't mean he won't be there. They are working hard. I don't know what the latest news on it is. We got to wait till Monday or Tuesday. They're trying to secure another opponent. His opponent dropped out. It would have been great to get 3 heavyweight fights on this card, and it would have been great to get the Boogeyman back here in Quebec. He built himself quite the fan base here. I'm sure there's a few people that are disappointed he is not on that card. That being said, if it doesn't work out, look for Eye the Tiger to put him back to work as soon as humanly possible, because even they recognize what type of fucking promotion machine Adam Braywood is. And I mean, no matter what, you're going to get what you paid for. So, on the card officially, Simon Keane versus Liakovic. You know what? I like Simon Keane better since he lost to Dylan Carmen. I know it's fucked to say it, but I think it took him losing for me to start appreciating him. And he's rocking such a beautiful mullet right now, so bless him for that. His opponent's a fucking tough Belarus dude. They call him the White Wolf. He lost a unanimous decision to Andy Ruiz. He lost to Deontay Wilder by KO. Got retired by Brian Jennings. Lost to TKO to Robert Helenius. He's 27-7. 17 KOs. 6'4". Coming to fucking throw down. This is the type of fight Simon Keane needs. No actual bullshit involved. This is a straight fight, and this dude's coming to fucking hurt him. And that's where Simon Keane does his best. Mind games and talking bullshit and doing crazy shit is not for him. And when he's got an opponent in front of him that he knows he has to take seriously, Simon Keane fucking straightens his P's and Q's. And I expect Simon Keane to maybe even deliver his best performance yet. As crazy as it sounds, Deontay Wilder has improved. Even though Deontay Wilder is 42-0 now. It took me this long to appreciate Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder even admits that even now he's improving. So, that being said, I look forward to Simon Keane showing everybody what he's really about. Arslanbek the Lion Makhmudov looking to make it 10-0 against none other than the Nigerian Nightmare himself, Samuel Peter. They are fighting for the NABF title. Listen, Arslanbek is just as terrifying as it gets. I got all my heavyweight hopes on him right now. I won't even try and deny it. I love everything about it. The guy's got footwork, the guy's got combinations, the guy's got power, the guy's got mauling, the guy's got defense. He's checking all the boxes for me. And, I've even seen him eat a shot, and, he's got a fucking chin. He trains right, lives right. He's doing everything fucking right. The Lion's a fucking beast. Now, I want to point out that he won the NABF title in his last fight. And the fight before that was the WBC Continentals of America title. So you're saying to me, okay, so what's this NABF title about? It's just a ranking bullshit. But what matters is that it's going to position him a little closer. And considering he's only going to be having 10 fights as of this fight, that's a lot. It's a lot. Now, the Nightmare's 39 years old. Yes, he is past his prime. Yes, he is towards the end of his career. His fight with Hughie Fury got turned into some sort of disqualification disaster. It was a show. Will he stand up to Arslanbek Makhmudov? 100%. Will he show up ready to fight? 100%. Is he going to still try and knock Makhmudov's head off? 100%. We need a dude that's going to give Makhmudov rounds, and I'm really hoping an old crafty veteran with a head made of concrete is going to be able to fucking do it. That being said, an impressive win here over a name opponent. When I say this, let me explain it to you. So the so-called professional journalists out there, the ones that report on sports, but don't actually follow any sport specifically, or sometimes don't just follow the sport that they're covering. They know Samuel Peter's name. They can Google him, and a lot of stuff will pop up. So I predict we're not going to be alone in Quebec and back home. Where is he from again? Fuck. Russia, but where in Russia? Well, listen. Mozdok, Russia. Alright? So Mozdok in Montreal knows Arslanbek Makhmudov. After he beats the Nigerian Nightmare, expect other boxing writers around the world to start talking about him. Expect other journalists to really start pressing the ham hard on him. Last but not least, cherry on the sundae. $11, folks. All of fucking that for $11 so far, okay? But cherry on the sundae. You get to watch David Lemieux for $11, okay? He's been on DAZN. He's been on pay-per-view. You've paid $75 in the past to watch David Lemieux fight Triple G. Or maybe the Triple G fight was on DAZN. So DAZN was kind of the same deal. It was probably $11 too. Not the point. You've shelled out money for David Lemieux before. This is an easy fucking buy. Oddly enough, Eye the Tiger showed they chose an opponent named the Tiger. Maxim Bursak. Listen, 35 years old, 6 foot tall, a tall dude. He's got a unanimous decision loss to Gilberto Ramirez. Put together some wins since. Hasn't lost a fight since 2017. Lost a decision to Zach Dunn. Zach Dunn's a fucking truck. Lost a decision to Martin Murray. Love Martin Murray. And this is 2014 Martin Murray, when Martin Murray was on top of his shit at the time. Other than that, it's all fucking wins. Homie's got 2 draws. What'd I say about fucking draws? And one of them wasn't too long ago. He's an awkward dude. He hits funny. I'll say this. This is maybe the Ukrainian version of David Lemieux. Because he's going to try and fight inside. He's going to try and go to the body. As far as opponents go, this is the type of fight you want to see for David Lemieux. Kenneth is reminding me, Lemieux Triple G was on HBO. So that was even worse. It was pay-per-view and you had to pay for the channel. David Lemieux's got his hands full with the Tiger. Listen. The thing is, this is David's first fight at 168 pounds. It's his first fight since September of 2018, where he pieced out Gary O'Sullivan. But even in that fight, he had injuries. And then the fight before that, Kareem Archer, all the way past, before 2 fights, I think Curtis Stevens, he had a fucking nagging injury that he basically fought all the way through to 2018 with. Injury healed. Weight issues behind him. New weight class ahead of him. Making weight's going to be less of a fucking stress. And like I said for Andy Ruiz, believe it or not, stress is a factor we all deal with. I think David's been raring to go. I think Camille had no choice but to get the Bell Center in order to get David a fight. And that's fine. It's a really precarious situation right now at 160 pounds, even at 168. Camille's putting his money where his mouth is with this show. Bringing in talent from around the world. You're going to get a world-class event in Montreal for $11, folks. I don't know how much more I gotta fucking hard sell you on it, but fuck, you're stupid if you don't fucking watch it at home. If you got something, you got a funeral, I understand. I get it, right? You're at a wedding. Okay, maybe at a wedding I would still watch it on my phone, but a funeral definitely would go to the washroom to watch fights. Point being, you don't have an excuse. It's happening here in Montreal, so support your local talent. The reason this card's stacked, the reason the stable's so fucking deep right now, the reason there is show after show, knockout after knockout, fucking fun event after fun event, is because he's putting his money where his mouth is. The man says, I'm going to put a show on for you, and then he fucking delivers. How many fucking times does he have to do it before you fucking buy it? If you don't have Punch and Grace, guys, that's my strong fucking suggestion. So, just real quick, I want to make a quick shout out to a couple journalists I know that are going to be going to the Ruiz-Joshua fight. Be safe. I would not go. I've probably already said enough about Saudi Arabia to make me be on some sort of list. So, fuck it. But just be careful, especially my female colleagues. Be fucking careful. Don't fuck around. All journalists come back safe from Saudi Arabia. A little disappointed. No ring card girls. And my female friend is going to be wearing a burqa. They gave it to her at the airport before she left her country. So she has to wear it on the plane down, and she has to wear it at all times down there. She doesn't have to cover her face, but she has to have her hair covered up. Listen, man, I'm not religious. If that means I'm going to hell, I'm okay with it, and you should be okay with it too. That being said, the truth, most religious people I know are dedicated, good people. And it's usually the people that are not religious that have more problems. But that being said, I don't care what religion you are. Everyone just be safe. I'm not the type of person to make disparaging comments towards somebody's religion, unlike other journalists I know. But, I'm a man of my word, and I said I'd mention it, so I'm going to mention it. I don't like talking about bad stuff all that much, but, we got to be honest about what's going on in Saudi Arabia. It's not our country, and it's not our place to say anything, but, they killed a dude that worked for the New York Times, so, yeah, no fucking thank you. I get it, a lot of you guys have to fucking pay your bills and whatnot, but, yeah, man, I'd like to think if my government wanted to disappear me, at least some people would fucking stir some shit up, but, money is the fucking evil of everything, and proof of that is they've had events and plenty of journalists go there since, so it is what it is. Overall, I'm sure most of them are going to be safe. There's shouldn't be any issues, and it's going to be a great afternoon of fights. Guys, I am super nervous and pumped to be going to California. Send me well wishes. Check out my Instagram stories. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try and panic and get everything uploaded because I still got to get back here and then make it to the Bell Center on Saturday. But just be forewarned, I will film and take a lot of pictures and stuff. And I'll give you my whole scoop when I come back the Sunday after. Guys, that's it for me. Let me just check, make sure. Homework assignment. Guys, stop a random person. Ask them if they like boxing. Regardless of what they answer, tell them to check out Manny Montreal. Google me. I'm on Facebook. I'm everywhere. Share this fucking video, guys. Wish me luck on my trip. I'll see you guys on the next one.